Okay, I'm about to let you in on a secret about your garden. A secret that the big box garden stores really don't want you to know. For years, we've all been sold this idea that gardening is a war, right? A constant battle against weeds, pests, and bad soil. But what if I told you that you've been lied to? That this entire struggle is completely unnecessary? This one idea is going to change everything you thought you knew about your own backyard. Here's why.
This isn't some radical new idea. The founder of permaculture, Bill Mollison, he was asking this exact question decades ago. He was basically saying, hey, look around. This constant war we're waging in our yards, it's just not working. Isn't it time to stop fighting and maybe start listening?
I mean, just think about it for a second. All that time, all that money, all that backbreaking work. We're weeding, we're spraying, we're fertilizing. We're constantly fighting what we think are problems. But what if we have it all backwards? This approach flips that whole idea on its head.
So what's the big secret? It's actually pretty simple. The problems are the solutions. Yeah, you heard me right. The very things you've been taught to destroy are actually your garden's secret allies, just waiting for you to put them to work.
And here is the first, truly mind-blowing piece of this. You know that dandelion you just pulled? That thistle you spent 20 minutes digging out? What if it was actually doing you a huge favor? This one little shift in perspective, well, it's the key that unlocks a self-sustaining garden.
See, these aren't just weeds. Think of them more like your garden's own personal mining company. They're called dynamic accumulators. Their roots go way down, much deeper than your tomato roots can reach, and they pull up valuable minerals from deep in the subsoil, bringing all that wealth to the surface for free. So, this is how you turn a chore into a harvest. Instead of bagging up those weeds and throwing them out, you do what's called chop and drop. You just cut them down and leave them right on the soil as mulch. Or you can toss them in your compost pile to supercharge it. You can even steep them in water to create this incredible liquid fertilizer. You're closing the loop and building amazing soil for zero cost.
All right, so that kind of takes care of the weed problem. But what about pests, right? Instead of spraying poisons that kill everything, the good bugs and the bad bugs, you can just offer the pests a decoy, something they like even more than your prize-winning vegetables. It's the absolute genius of trap cropping.
It's like building your garden's own little security team. You plant nasturtiums, and the aphids will swarm them and leave your kale alone. A border of mustard can act like a bodyguard for your broccoli. See what's happening? You're not just growing food anymore. You're orchestrating a living, breathing ecosystem that actually protects itself.
So, we've seen how to turn enemies into allies, but the next level up is understanding that your garden isn't just a collection of individual plants. No, it's a thriving community where every single member has a job to do.
And this right here is the absolute core of permaculture. It's not about having 100 different types of plants. It's about creating beneficial relationships between the plants you have. The connections are way more important than the individuals.
And there's no better story to illustrate this than the Three Sisters. This is a planting system that Native American cultures perfected centuries ago. It's an absolute powerhouse of food production that literally builds its own support system.
I mean, just look at this incredible teamwork. The corn grows tall, acting as a living pole for the beans. The beans climb the corn, and get this, they actually pull nitrogen fertilizer right out of the thin air and feed the corn and squash. Then the squash spreads out like a living mulch on the ground, keeping the soil moist and shading out weeds, and its prickly leaves keep pests away. Each plant is performing a job that helps the whole system thrive.
So when you put these two philosophies side by side, the difference is just profound. One is an endless, high-energy battle against nature. The other is a low-energy, intelligent design that works with nature to create a system that largely takes care of itself.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds fantastic in theory, but how do you actually do it? Well, it's simpler than you think. It starts by just changing how you see the resources you already have all around you. Let's talk about rain. In most yards, it hits the ground and just runs away, right? A permaculture garden captures it. This here is a swale. It's basically a level ditch. Instead of water rushing off your property, the swale catches it and holds it, letting it soak deep into the ground. You're creating a massive underground water battery with just a shovel. So here are some simple, actionable things you can do this weekend. First, just watch. Before you do anything, just see where the sun hits, where the water flows. Second, try the chop and drop. Next time you see a weed, just cut it and leave it right there. And third, plant some native flowers to attract those predator insects that'll become your free pest control crew.
And always remember, the goal isn't just to grow food. The goal is to design a system where nature does most of the heavy lifting for you. The yield of a system isn't just about the tomatoes you harvest. It's the soil you build, the water you store, and the time you save. Better design means better yield, and that potential is limitless. And this is where it gets really big, because this isn't just about gardening. It's a way of thinking. It's about seeing connections, turning problems into solutions, and working with natural systems, not against them. So if you can use this thinking to redesign a garden, what else can you redesign?